Hello, welcome to my first devlog. This is going to be the pre-production phase for, the assignment for the ASGEMoviez game. So, me and my team has gone through the brief. We have decided to, first of all, we have to greenlit the game, and we have to, create a PowerPoint for it in order to get it approved. So, let's get right into that. So first of all, in order to structure our development process, we've got our Google Drive as per usual. We've got a game idea document at the moment and PowerPoint, which we will go into after this. And yeah, so let's get into it. So to start with, our game idea, we were brainstorming a few things. We've got games about fulfilling a balance in a bar, so about existentialism, bar between human and robot. So we had the idea of someone who got into like a major accident that requires their head to be transplanted onto some kind of metallic body or some kind of robot body. This turned out to be our first game idea, but it is expanded majorly upon. So we've got the second point, which is the first extension to the first variation of that initial fulfilling and balancing a bar idea. So we've got a side scroller. So this is a diagram that Vlad made. It has a time limit. It's similar to classic Mario style. It has player gravity. It has it's similar to Mario. You've got gravity. You've got time. You've got lives. The player would be fighting robots instead of the usual Goomba, the turtles, and all that. You've got fixed permanent power ups like you have in Metroid. So say, for example, Samus, the Metroid, the main Metroid main character that you play as, can turn into a ball, and that requires a power up. So we're gonna have something similar to that in mind with the side scroller. And after that, that's basically it for the side scrollers at the moment in terms of idea. And then we've got the game balancing a bar. So we have got basically everything we've got so far. So balancing a bar about humanity and robot and efficiency and all that. Has a bit of stealth, but mainly the main genre is going to be beat 'em up. We thought about bullet hell, but I think we will pass on that due to the nature of how difficult we have to instantiate the bullets and all that. That's going to be a technical constraint that we will have to overcome eventually. But anyways, let's talk about what's so good about this beat 'em up. So, as always, following up the idea of between robot efficiency and stealth. So, if you avoid combat, you're gonna be more humane because you generally want to avoid conflict. More fighting means more efficiency, more robotic, more disconnected from humanity. So generally, you're going to be either becoming more of a human or more of a robot. As for the level design part of this game, it will be a state machine. So I'm really looking forward to this because this feels like a really excellent time for me to figure out how to change level with the switch case statements, which from my previous assignment, Zolt has been a really big helper in getting me to understand that. So after that, as always, a beat 'em up usually have power ups to help you defeat the enemies, and it will be a co-op game as well, as we will explain in the slide in a bit. You will beat up containers to power ups. So stuff like maybe you can get like a flamethrower that can burn all enemies in a cone or something like that. We might have a timer for more scores, difficulty as always to more scores as per usual, and as always it's going to be co-op. And this is a diagram made by me to explain to my teammates what we will talk about in terms of. Actually, this is actually wrong. This is the bottom one is a side scroller, and the one I'm thinking at the top is actually the platformer. So we might have to change that in the PowerPoint. Anyways, so yeah, the story. So like I said, already badly damaged body that have to be that basically makes the player the only part that is still usable is the head of the player of the character. So it was transplanted into a robot body, and From that, in exchange for that, they will have to work for the organization behind the producer of the robots. And what they do is fight a bad organization that threatens internet security. Who knows? Anyways, that's basically it for our brainstorming, and we basically translated that over to the PowerPoint with the elevator pitch as well as some images to explain our concepts. And yeah, that's basically our first ever. That's basically our first what you call it? First session with the pre-production session. Thank you for watching, and that's it.